to the Mindset for Success show, where we will talk about success in different ways and give you practical tips to achieve and cultivate success in every area of your life. Come, join us and learn from our guests what success is all about. For more information, follow us at Welcome to the Mindset Show. Today, the first thing that I want to share with you is success is like a science. If you have the conditions, you will get the results. It's really important to understand that the conditions are those habits that we do day to day to create that success. So it's important to always keep asking, what can I do better? How can I improve this? And never give up. To talk more about this, we have today a special guest. We have our scientist, Alejandra Garcia. Alejandra, how are you?
Hi, Caro. How are you?
Good, and you? Thank you for being in the show.
I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. So let's start with a little bit more about you. Tell us, what do you do? What is your line of work? Tell us a little bit more about you.
Okay, so I'm currently a scientist working at Johnson & Johnson Vision Care. Like my background is in engineering, so I went to the University of Florida and got my undergrad degree in material science and engineering. And then I started working at Johnson & Johnson. Like my title is scientist now, which is kind of fun and interesting and something I didn't necessarily expect. Um, I'm also working on my master's degree right now, also in material science and engineering. And yeah, having a lot of fun, learning a lot.
Excellent, amazing career in such a young, early time, right? Because you are in the fast track, which is amazing. Excellent. So tell me a little bit, what is success for you?
So I was thinking a lot about this, knowing that it was going to be one of the topics we talk about. But I think success for me is kind of defined by yourself. And for me personally, like success is more about a feeling, and it has to do like a lot with feeling at peace with yourself in terms of the choices you make, and in terms of like what you're doing to get yourself to where you want to be. So that's kind of how I define it.
Interesting, right? I never expect that answer because from a science this that says, oh, success is about a feeling. Sometimes, and that's the beauty of this, right? That to understand that is more than that, because sometimes people believe that success is only what you can measure, touch, and say, oh, I achieved this. This is my success. But as you say, it's more than that, right? It's that feeling.
Well, I mean, we can get straight into it, but I think you've known me for a while. Like when I was younger, I would have told you like, okay, maybe by this age, I wanted to be in this position or, like have this title or like have this under my belt. Um, but I think as I've gotten a little bit older, it's all like kind of more about the journey and like how, like, like how's my health like in the process? Like, well, how is my mindset? Like, am I being able to find like joy and feel engaged with what I'm doing? Because like you might have what other people would consider a really important goal or like a worth it goal, but like is the goal worth it for you? And um like does what it takes to get there make you happy? Is being in part of that process like contributing to your happiness? So I think that's where I've redefined a little bit.
Excellent. So I also like what you're saying, that success, the concept of success keep changing over time with experience, with knowledge, with maybe the season in your life, what is important for you. You say mental health, physical health, there are so many other aspects other than only the material aspect of success.
Exactly.
And that's really important to explore and to speak about, because sometimes it is, when you say success, for people what it comes to their mind is like, I don't know, money, position, career, but then there are other things that also represent success that even give you, as you say, more joy, right?
Yeah,
And it's important to be on track of that. It doesn't mean that one is better than the other, but if you understand the balance, then you can be really successful.
exactly. Exactly. Like I think exactly like you said for seasons of life, like, right now I don't have kids, but like I could see a person who has kids like needing to prioritize making time to be with their kids, and maybe at that time in their life, like making a certain amount of money does not have the same priority, and like they're still going to be successful by those metrics they set for themselves.
Exactly. So again, it's not only how you define success for yourself, but how you measure success for yourself. Amazing. Very good, understanding of the concept. I love it. So always at the beginning of the show, we try to do an exercise, a game or something just to break the ice. So are you willing to play?
Yeah, of course.
Awesome. So I sent you a document and I told you, please don't pick up on this. So it's called the 30 Circles Challenge. So the idea is that we are going to have this page with a bunch of circles, right? And the goal is to turn as many circles as possible into objects. So it's more or less like similar to life, right? You get something and you have to do the better as much as possible with that, with the situation in life. Okay?
How long do I have?
Because we are going to play together. I'm going to do it with you because that's the game, right? So we have 1 minute. It's just really short.
1 minute? Okay.
It's just for fun. Yeah?
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
Ready? Do you have your pen and your paper? Good.
Yes.
So here, set, go.
Okay.
"30 seconds.
Okay.
I know. It's like maybe. Okay. You got something?
Yes.
Time's up.
Okay.
So are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so
oh my gosh.
I did a lot. I don't know how. Okay, later on. Okay, there. Oh, wow. Okay, good. That's awesome. Look, it's funny. The first one, we did the same one, like a happy face.
Like a happy face.
You see? Happy.
Yeah, you get creative. Like you have like a wheel, then the sun, then I started like a donut tires.
Good.
Like my little succulent pot, a little chick.
That's good.
This is like a beaker you would have in a lab. And then a birthday cake.
Excellent. I went for a sun, the moon, a planet.
Wow, that was awesome.
Green, a pizza, a balloon. Pac-Man.
Creative.
Yeah. So that's really nice in the sense of how we, starting from the same, we can create so many things, right? And that's what we've been talking about success. It's about your meaning, what you bring into the table, how you see the situations in life, and how you manifest different things in life.
Yeah.
So very good. So it's also that's part of, if you can translate the game into life, it's like the same anxiety, like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? I have such a short time, what should I do? Right? But that's the beauty also of life, to understand and to be joyful. Whatever it is that we have is what we have at this point, and that's okay.
You gotta make the best out of it.
Yes, excellent. So now we're gonna go to a small commercial break, and when we come back, more with Alejandra. Thank you.
Introducing Blossom Botanicals, the perfect blend for healthy skin. Are you searching for skincare products that are not only effective, but also align with your commitment to clean and natural ingredients? Look no further. We are Blossom Botanicals, a harmonious fusion of expertise and clean, environmentally conscious formulations. Follow us on Instagram at bb.blossombotanicals.
Todo Bello Balloons is a business that was born out of a passion for creating unique and beautiful balloon designs. At Todo Bello Balloons, we offer a wide range of balloon designs, including balloon bouquets, balloon arches, balloon columns, and more. We specialize in creating unique and beautiful balloon designs that bring your dreams into reality. We believe that balloons have the power to bring people together and create lasting memories. And we are honored to be part of that experience.
Are you ready to make achieving your goals a piece of cake? Start baking your way to success today. It's a Piece of Cake by Carolina Ayala. Get your copy at www.carolinaayala.com. Are you ready to transform your life, unlock your potential, and achieve the greatness you've always dreamed of? Introducing the Coach to Greatness program, your 90-day online journey to success. Week after week, you'll dive into transformative themes, from aligning priorities with goals to tapping into your true potential. Say goodbye to self-criticism and step into empowerment. Together, we'll break through barriers and achieve what you never thought possible. Coach to Greatness, your path to success. Join today and redefine your future. Together, we'll achieve greatness. Enroll at www.carolinaayala.com.
You've been watching the Mindset for Success show. Now, back to your host, Carolina Ayala. Welcome back to Mindset for Success show. Today we have a special guest, Alejandra Garcia, a scientist. So Alejandra, tell us a little bit more about your habits to be successful.
So I'm a planner. I kind of always like to think about like, where do I want to go and how do I need to get there? So it's like, if you wanted to go to Paris, you're like, okay, well, I need to book tickets. You need to save up for the tickets. You know, when you're in Paris, how are you going to move around? So like, kind of start with where you want to go and where are you now and what are all the things in between that need to get accomplished for you to get there. So I keep a planner. I hang on to my Outlook for dear life. And I try to do that honestly with like the different areas of my life, like not just at work or, you know, not just with an exam that I might have for school, but like kind of being mindful of like, you know, my relationships, like who do I want to see, like who do I want to give priority right now, and do I need to travel to see them, or what kind of what can I do to like be able to create that time for us to spend together? So that's one of mine, is just deciding what I want and then figuring out what I need to do to make it happen.
And then follow your schedule, your plan, you know, step by step.
Exactly. And then like modify as needed, you know, like life has twists and turns sometimes. So I also have like a joke that I write everything in my agenda in pencil. Like not everything goes in pen because things happen and you need to make modifications, and it's a plan, not the only way to make things happen.
Excellent, because that was my next question. How do you deal with life? Because sometimes when you plan a lot, you know, life happens and you have to have flexibility. So how do you find that balance? How do you get into, okay, it's okay that I have to change my plans?
Yeah, so it's like I would think about it in order of priority. So like if for this week, like let's say I had an exam this weekend, and let's say like I had an outing with friends, and like maybe I needed to get some errands done for the house. It's like, okay, well, in order of priority, what has to happen, and then organize that way. So then making sure that the tasks related to my most important goal are the ones that definitely get done. So that's kind of the way I like try to deal with like challenges that would change my original plan.
Excellent. So what I'm listening is priorities and planning.
Yeah.
So a lot of that. And that gives you also the flexibility to decide based on your priorities. So it's really important to know what you want and what you like, you know, to achieve in life, to set your priorities.
Yes. And I'm going to add this little nugget because I feel like it's also that's something that's important that I've also learned as I've gotten older, which is like also like planning time for rest. Because again, in my previous life as a college student, I think it was very much like push through, like just push through the exhaustion, you know, like push through the challenges. And, you know, life is kind of more of a marathon, especially now that I'm working, you know, like my milestones are different. And so I think including rest into the plan becomes more efficient in avoiding fatigue. Because if you keep pushing yourself like at a really high level for long periods of time without rest, you really don't have time to recover, and then the just exhaustion takes over. So that's like my little additional nugget to.
I love it. I love it because that's part of self-care, and part of being successful is also understand yourself and know what your limits and know what can you do and know when to push and when to rest. So
Yeah.
very good. Thank you for sharing that because it's amazing. Now, we know that we all have those days that are, like everything is going wrong, or, or you feel like discouraged or something. What do you do on those days?
I think I'm a verbal processor. So if I'm honest, I need to talk to people. And so like, depending on whatever challenge I'm having, like I'm going to talk to different people about it. So it's like, if it's a technical challenge at work, like I might go to like a more senior person on my team, someone who's like dealt with that experience before, maybe my manager, like if I need resources, like if it maybe has to do like more with my personal life, I might call my best friend, or something like that to get perspective or to ask for some support if that's what I need. But I guess I reach out to my community is kind of where I start off with if I'm having a lot of challenges. It's just like
excellent.
reach
So
out to them.
also that means that success is not a lonely endeavor. It's like you have the community, you have your network that support you in different ways to be able to make it happen.
Exactly. Like I think there's people who like recharge in those different ways. Like some people might need time to themselves, like to take a step back and like, be with their thoughts. I'm the type of person that wants to be with their thoughts with a cup of tea and another person. Like that's me.
Good. That's a lot of self-knowledge, because if you know what you really need, you can make it happen, and then you can feel the ease, or maybe you can have clarity and solve the situation. That's what you are looking for.
Yeah. And I think for me personally, like I very often want to hear the other perspective. Like I have my thoughts on a challenge. I'm seeing from my perspective, but like the question that often comes to my mind is like, what am I missing? What am I not seeing? And again, more in my recent learnings, like how do I need to reframe the situation if I need to reframe it? That's probably like my favorite phrase of like the last few couple of months is like, okay, how can I reframe this?
I love it because that's the sign within you in the sense of like always asking a question, right?
Oh,
Like, what is next? How can we do this better? And what is the issue? What is the problem? What is, as you say, what is the different perspective? So that keep you open and receptive to new opportunities and to be able to be more successful.
yeah.
Amazing. So in other terms, like, because we know that it's a process, success is a process, there is any book or something that you recommend for people if they are looking to improve their success path?
So like I decided to pick the one that made a really big difference for me growing up. So it was it's called The 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, but it's the teen version. So that was like one of the first books, I guess you could call it, on self-development that I read. And what I really liked about it is that it like helped you create a structure in your brain of like how to approach life. So what we started this conversation with, like, having the end goal in mind. What do you have to do to get there? And, one of the other topics is like relationships, like how to balance out your relationships, like understanding that like it's a gift, to like give and take. And it has different tidbits like that, that I think are really helpful, like for getting perspective on how to have a strategy for it. Like I'm a big strategy person. I like to understand like how I'm going to approach it. And so that's what I really appreciated about the book, and it has examples. So that's one that I think like has stood out to me since I was young. And there's an adult version too, if that's what you're more interested in.
Excellent. So I read that book too. It's life changing. It gives you, as you say, like a path to follow. At least you have the idea of how to make it happen.
Yeah.
Very, very good. And from your point of view, what are the qualities that have led you to be successful right now?
Wow. I would say that the first one would be like persistence. Because to get anywhere, there's going to be challenges, and persistence and consistency. So like, once you decide what your goal is, like what's the path that you're going to go on, and you have to stick with it, like through the challenges, and maybe not stick with every step to the path, but like if you're getting stuck at a step, like having the persistence and the consistency to say, okay, I need to find another way, but I'm gonna stay with the goal and focus. Like you're not just gonna drop it and leave. So I think persistence and consistency, and I think kind of what we talked about, like community and mentorship. So I'd say that especially in college and like as a young working professional, finding people around me who could guide me like based on their own experiences. I think if you're going back to your question of like what are the qualities of persistence, consistency, like finding the resources that you need in order to help you achieve your goal. I think those like three are like really big for me. Those are the ones that are coming to mind most.
That's very good, very good. And because we talked about before about your approach on even having time for self-care and and to rest.
Right.
Tell us a little bit more, like what do you do in your free time? What is something that recharges you?
So I'm a plant mom. Like I love like I have succulents and orchids, so like that for me is like my time to disconnect. And so like I'm in agreement with you. Like another like important habit would be to create that time to rest. I like to cook. I like to have people over to try new meals. And I definitely like to exercise, and that's an important one. Both from like a health perspective, like a physical health perspective, but also like a mental health perspective. I think we know that your body responds very well in terms of like endorphins and like helping you stay positive as you deal with the challenges in the rest of your life. So those are like some of the things that I do to like recharge and like keep my brain ready to go for whatever I need to deal with the next day.
Excellent, excellent. Very good. Thank you for sharing that with us, because that's a really good advice. Sometimes people is looking to see what can I do differently. So those are really good hints.
And I've been trying I think the other one that I guess it didn't occur to me to mention, but I've also been like reading a lot about different breathing techniques. And so like my favorite one that I've been playing with is called like the 4-7-8 breath. So it's like you inhale for 4, you hold it for 6 seconds, and then you exhale through your mouth for 8. And you could do different cycles of that. I think it was like created or documented by like Dr. Andrew Weil, and there's many different types of breathing techniques out there. But like if I really need to clear my mind or slow my thoughts down, if I've had a really stressful day after work and sometimes I just like need to lay on the couch and just like let the thoughts settle, that breathing technique is like the one that I've leaned on probably the most to help slow everything down. Talking with one of my other coaches, like the way that I see it is like, the speed at which your brain thinks, sometimes you start getting tense and like you stop breathing and your breathing pattern changes, right? So it's like if you can't slow down the thoughts, then go in the opposite direction, slow down the way you breathe so you can slow down the thoughts. Hopefully that made sense.
Excellent. Yes, yes. And it's a really good technique that we invite people to try if they want to especially when you are in a fast-paced environment. As you said, you are in the corporate world, you are doing your master's degree, so you have the relationship, you have life happening. So it's important to have something to go to in case of an emergency, and to know that will reset your system and will give you that inner peace that you need to move forward.
And I kind of like the way you phrase it, because you're making me like realize. So like, yeah, you're right. Like I'm thinking science at work, like I come home and I'm about to study and I'm thinking science. So like my brain's going on, which is, I think, why I pick such social and like physical activities. Like I need to move. I spend a lot of time either sitting or like working on a computer. Like I need to move. I need to change the energy and the activity of what I'm doing. And that's the reason I love to like cook and be with friends, because I need to like use the other like energy and socialize and engage with people. And like, so creating that balance by kind of, I guess, engaging with the different aspects of being a human, like your intellectual side, the more personal, social side, and then like your body, which is just so important to take care of.
Excellent. And that's part of success, to be well balanced all over. Don't only take care of one area of your life, and that's important that you notice what you needed the most, and you keep. It's a work in progress, right? Like every day you notice something different, you keep adjusting.
Exactly.
Very good. So we are getting to the end of the interview. So one final advice for people that are listening about success.
I think, like, in order, like, get to know yourself so that you know where you want to go. And then, like, once you figure out that end point and the path on how you might get there, like, making sure that you also include taking care of yourself in there, like we talked about, like taking care of your body, like, and thinking, you know, like if you have a goal for your career, like, or, you know, consider, like, are you also thinking about your long-term longevity, your long-term health, and making sure that it's balanced in that way. So, like, my advice is, like, don't forget about yourself. Don't forget to take care of your physical and mental health, because it's really difficult to achieve any of the other goals you have for yourself if those don't stay at the forefront. And that definitely comes from, like, a lessons learned, been there, done that. So, like, that's why it's my priority. And, like, I kind of joke at work, like, I'm the ergo princess, because it's like, yeah, like, you know, if you spend a lot of time just working on a computer, you want to make sure that that setup is healthy for your body, because if your wrist starts to hurt, if anything starts to hurt, well, you can't do it anymore, and that becomes a challenge. So remember to take care of yourself.
Excellent advice. Thank you very much, Alejandra. Thank you for being here with us today. It's been a pleasure. And that's it for today. So thank you very much for watching the Mindset for Success show. Until next time. Thank you. Thanks for watching the Mindset for Success show. Join us every Thursday at 11 a.m. to learn how to master your mind and achieve success in every area of your life.